This is my 2002 pre-facelift. I bought it about 2 years ago. I've done about 13,000 miles in that time. As you will see from the wheels, I've made a few upgrades. I don't think I've done anything out of the ordinary. I'll just run you through these fairly standard modifications which I think improve the car quite substantially. First of all, the brakes. In the first year I ran through about 5 different combinations of discs and pads, none of which really worked quite well enough. I eventually ended up with the Frodo DS 2500s for track use, but really they weren't quite good enough on the road. Until they were hot, they didn't work properly. Eventually I upgraded to Accord Type R twin pot calipers. The difference in performance is absolutely outstanding. A side effect is that the rear brakes don't overheat like they did before, so I can still run fairly normal disc and pads there. So what other upgrades have I made? First of all, I upgraded from the standard 16-inch to facelift 17-inch wheels. That worked fine. The handling was much better. I made a number of other changes, including a stiffer front anti-roll bar, which quells some of the oversteer characteristics. It works really well on track. I've now gone for Enkai lightweight wheels, slightly wider but still within the standard arches. Under the bonnets is fairly standard again, just a few tweaks. I've done the normal airbox modification, just taking out the centre section. You'll see a spoon strut brace there. Not sure that it really does very much. The car's pretty stiff as normal. And you can see at the back there's a brake stopper, very cheap modification. It's a tiny improvement to the braking. It effectively stops the bulkhead flexing a little bit under heavy braking. Of course, I've upgraded the brake fluid and put braided brake lines on as well. In terms of exhaust, my first modification was to do the so-called UK mod, just to bypass the 3 runs through the standard silencers. But you can see now I've actually upgraded the exhaust to a rather louder system. The main advantage is actually it's significantly lighter. Not entirely sure that I really like it quite so loud, but we'll see when I do my next track day in 2 days' time whether it actually passes the noise test. In terms of suspension, initially I had standard shocks and then went to lowering springs, which were okay, but not really a perfect solution. I'm now on coilovers, which again is a very common modification. The main advantage is you can adjust the ride height, the spring preload and the damping, really to tune it to exactly how you want it. Perhaps not quite such a common modification. You can see I've inserted Honda Odyssey fog lamps into the front bumper, into the existing blanked off slots. These are also upgraded with LED bulbs, and I've upgraded the other lights as well. So side lights are LED, the indicators are LED, switching with daytime running lights as well. The car is my pride and joy. I've had a lot of very high performance cars in the past, but I have to say this is one of the most fun to drive. I do quite a few track days, and really performs extremely well. The main thing I really enjoy is keeping on top of all the maintenance tasks, which really amount to oil changes, engine, gearbox and diff. I change the oil at least every 3,000 miles. I was very fortunate to find a low mileage car to start with a great service history, and to this date, it's now 71,000 miles, still doesn't burn a drop of oil. It's a perfect car.